Hello, everybody. It's Burley. I bet you haven't seen me in like a month, haven't you? Yeah, that's right. I know what I'm doing. The real answer is I'm a bit behind on the third deck video. So we're gonna be just quickly talking about a cool deck I've recently been playing called Arcana. Arcana is a really cool deck actually now. Thanks to the new support coming out in Supreme Darkness, I believe. The deck surprisingly now has a really consistent way of making a FTK/OTK as long as you can find a way into Light Barrier. Alright, so what do these new cards do, Curly? Like, oh, look at you. You can make a bunch of fucking big guys and the world can like sacrifice them all to like skip the opponent's turn, and then you can do the same thing and make more guys. Oh, cool. I haven't seen another deck that does that before. Well, this time it's different, okay? And by different, I mean it's the exact same, but more consistent. All right, so look, we have the Dark Ruler. We don't care about this guy at all. You never want to see him. He's completely worthless in your hand. But what he is he is a 4,000 attack body that gets to attack twice. We don't talk about the Tails effect. It just blows up the whole field. We don't need to look at that. The world's heads effect is literally just like sacrifice 2 monsters, skip the opponent's next turn during the end phase. That's it. If Tails force your opponent to like keep their graveyard untouched and make them pick up the top card off it, that's it. I think that's just more annoying. It's honestly the more fun part about that. The Sun's head effect, just set a spell from your deck to your field. Just any spell card with a coin tossing effect. Like, what? Tails blow up everything in the spell and trap zone. The Fiend, like me, it is a light fairy. Much like me, another Fiend. It's just terraforming. It's just 3 more copies of terraforming. Discard it, search a Light Barrier. Heads or tails effects or whatever, who cares? The Lovers, another card you don't want to see in your hand at all. That means you are playing 3 solid bricks in your deck. Possibly 4. We'll get to the 4th one. What does this one do? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it contributes itself for like the cost of 2 for an Arcana card. It could be for anything. It could be for anything. I don't know anything about this combo. I don't know what you're talking about. Hierophant, best normal summon in the entire deck if you have Light Barrier. That's kind of the big flaw with this deck right now, is that you are still reliant on seeing Light Barrier. But it does feel a lot better now. Hierophant special summons a level 4 lower Arcana Force monster from your deck with a different name from everything on the field and in the grave. Pretty easy. And Tails, you get to summon one to your opponent's field instead. Surprisingly, you do actually play the Tails effect. We'll get to that. And by that I mean right now. The Empress. Empress is a card that, again, you don't want to draw, but is still kind of okay. What it does, it will basically just, on heads, when your opponent normal resets a monster, you just get to summon an Arcana from your hand. That's not bad in like certain hands, but like the better effect actually is the Tails effect when you give it to your opponent. The Tails, when your opponent normals resets a monster, you have to discard a card. Giving this to your opponent means they have to go negative no matter what. Incredibly good. Arcana Reading. Another card that if you have Light Barrier, doesn't fucking matter. It's all worthless. It doesn't count. The Tails effect is your opponent gets to add a card to their hand. This is why you only play it when you have Light Barrier. But the main effect, you just get to add a card with a coin tossing effect back to your hand. Extremely good, because everything in your deck is a coin tossing effect. Arcana Spread. If Light Barrier is in your field zone, you get to choose this effect instead. But heads, special summon 1 level 4 lower Arcana Force monster from your deck, or Tails, summon 1 monster from your graveyard with a coin tossing effect. Both are good. Like, this card's actually good as an either or option. You can also banish it to add 1 card from your graveyard to your hand that has a coin tossing effect. And you can only use 1 effect per turn and only once per turn. Insane! Like, it's just a really good extender for most of the deck. And you have ways of searching it. Wave of Light is another card that is extremely good now that we have the new stuff for it. Thankfully, it's another card like Light Barrier where you can't activate its coin flipping effect for it until your next standby phase. So it's immediately online and safe. Which is, you get to discard a card from your hand, Add 2 Arcana Force monsters with different names to your hand. You cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except Arcana Force monsters. And when do we ever do that? You can only use effective Wave of Light once per turn. Finally, we have Light Barrier. Light Barrier is the big solution to the whole deck. It just literally just lets you choose what fucking coin flip effects you want. And if an Arcana monster destroys an opponent's card by battle, gain life points equal to destroy monster's original attack. Bullies literally every fucking deck. The only other card that's new for Arcana is Chaos Ruler. And you would think for it being called a Chaos card, it would actually be good. It still relies on a coin flip, because everything needs to. On heads, lets you special summon a level 10 Arcana Force monster from your hand or deck, ignoring its conditions. This is why you don't want to open up the Dark Ruler. Or tails, gets to add 1 card from your deck to your hand that has a coin costing effect. Again, extremely good either way, so you really don't care if you can get this card out, but you need 3 Arcana Force monsters with different names. Thankfully, when this card is out on the field already, you already have everything on the field you need, so it really doesn't matter. You're just killing at that point. Otherwise, the rest of the deck is just like making sure you can guarantee what's happening. You're playing Horus for Photon Lord, so you have a negate in case of a Nibiru or Droll. Extremely good. You're playing Dark Ruler, you're playing Super Poly, you're playing Thrust and Tactics, and Called By, you're playing everything to like guarantee this combo goes off. Extra deck is just a bunch of good stuff cards, Super Poly targets, Zeus, Typhon, Baguska, Exciton, everything you'd want and more. So what does the deck do? It is literally just, you are setting up a turn skip, you are just skipping your opponent's next turn, and then you are slapping them in the face for like 12,000 damage. This is incredibly fun. But yeah, that's all this deck really does. It's going to be a super budget, locals friendly deck that's just gonna fuck up shit. It's not going to be anything stupid. It's not going to be anything crazy. It's very beatable. It's just you're an OTK. And I think, honestly, that's why I like this deck so much. It now has a really cool gimmick that it's going to hard stick to, because there's no other way for you to play this deck. You can play other coin tossing cards, like some versions I've seen with Desperado and stuff, or Desperado Barrel Dragon. But honestly, they don't really need to do anything. This deck just kind of just lives and vibes. The only time I've actually like lost a game and just had to like bitch and moan about it is when I get shifted. If you get shifted in this deck, everything is dead. You don't get any way to doing any combos, because everything needs the graveyard to resolve certain things, and these are like pivotal moments for the combo. But other than like shifter, a lot of things don't really fuck you up besides Droll. You know, the 2 most important hand traps in the game right now, Droll, Shifter. I know. Oh, fucking, how could you say this deck is cool when it literally dies to those 2 like perfect cards? And the answer is they're only gonna play one or the other. You really can't expect your opponent to have Shifter and Droll in the deck, so you're just going to wait and see if they activate one or the other, and hope to God you have the answer for when it comes up. But I love this deck. This deck is so fun. It creates so many goofy game plans and just so many game states where you're just like, holy shit, how do I get to the end goal? And very flexibly somehow still dancing around what you want to do. Obviously I haven't mastered it, but like this deck is still incredibly fun, and I would highly recommend it for anybody. But hey, that's just the video while I prep the 3rd deck video still. It's almost through production, I swear. I just need to get a few things going for it, and then we're good as gold. I may even do a stream with it soon, coming in the near future. But hey, that's it. Enjoy Rarity Bonanza. I can't wait for everybody to have a copy of SP for like $2. See ya.